Hi, my name is Carol Mora, and I'm going to start by reading the student attestation. Begin recording and read the following statement. All Aspen University students are required to abide by Aspen University's academic integrity policy as outlined in the university catalog. The academic integrity policy is built upon the concepts of honesty, truth, fairness, respect, and responsibility. By taking this assessment, I agree to abide by both the academic integrity policy and the rules outlined in the assessment. With this recording, I am attestation that I have personally completed the proctored assessment and that the information I submit is to my ID, PowerPoint, but I guess I did it wrong. So I'm going to start with the breadth of knowledge. Um, the breadth of knowledge applies a well-rounded and comprehensive knowledge of general education topics, including psychology, sociology, American history, physical science, mathematics, communications, and stats. As those disciplines apply to the increased efficiency in math class, I took a critical learning class, which helped me to better understand how to comprehend the work that I was doing in the college. I have relearned and learned new information. I went to school for this field in the 1990s in UCLA in California. Things quite a bit. There are so many changes I have learned. The reason is with all the difficult types of classes, they're all interconnected on some level, which helped. I did not take a stats class, but I have found that they are needed for this field in particular. When collecting data, I utilize this process, which has proved to be beneficial. Comparing and um, figuring out the differences between the past and the present and what the needs are of the patients in today's substance abuse and mental health. I have learned the reason is with all the different types of classes, they are interconnected on some level. I did not take math again or critical thinking, but I think that I have done pretty well. I've had a 4.0 for 7 years and I work really, really hard. Sometimes I don't always understand the um, directions and I do ask for help. Psychology assessment refers to the process of gathering data and an individual to understand. This data is typically gathered through a combination of different interviews and questionnaires that we use, standard test observations, and other evaluation tools. The primary aim of assessment is to support both the counselor and the client in making informed decisions regarding treatment plans, investigations, and other necessary psychological actions. And I think it's really important that you're able to develop a therapeutic community, or not community, a therapeutic relations also taught me how to work better with them, have more patience, have understanding, have empathy, have compassion, and do my best to make sure that they are okay before they leave my office. Psychological assessments should not be seen as a one time event. They should be done throughout their treatment, which means you are also updating their treatment plan. And that coincides with each. Instead, it's a dynamic, ongoing process that task changes in the individual's psychological state over time. Life circumstances change, personal growth changes, and treatment interventions all lead to the changes that can be significantly affect an individual's mental health and their well-being. Um, substance abuse and mental health a lot of times go hand in hand, and sometimes it's really hard to uh, see the differences, because they do go hand in hand. But through the classes that I've taken, I have been able to which is substance abuse and which is mental health. And I think that I have learned a lot through the classes. I have gotten feedback from my teacher, which has helped me along the way. I don't always understand, and I do have a lot of questions, and I just want to be able to do the right thing. Um, So, with life circumstances, personal growth, and treatment interventions all lead to changes that significantly affect an individual's mental health and well being. Therefore, periodic assessments are essential to capture these shifts and to adjust the approach accordingly. This includes treatment planning. I think that treatment planning is very important. You have to not always give them the bad part, but you have to give them the good part too. Like, I find it very effective that you tell them what they're doing good, and the changes that they've made, and the relationships that they've changed, and how they can better learn even more life skills, and they get jobs, and they go to school, and they do all kinds of different things. And this is done primarily in a counseling office, where you're working together with a patient to better help them. Psychology provides valuable information about the environment, because I do definitely. I'm from California. Things are very different in California than they are in the Midwest. It is a completely different culture. It's incestual here in the tri-state, Kentucky, Indiana, and uh, Ohio, which is where I live. In California, I worked with criminal justice gang members, murderers, and uh, yeah, different culture. Very, very, very different culture. The different things that the environment can do is the food we eat, the people we put in our lives, the way we interact with people, our regulate our emotions, as patients and as counselors, because we can definitely have countertransference, which has happened, throughout the time that I have been doing this. And I hope to continue to learn. I try and remain teachable, and I am really trying to do the right thing here. Um, when working with uh, psychology, American history, the American history has actually helped to help people to understand different things that are world, because a lot of people are very simple. They're from the Midwest. And so I love to educate people on the different things. I love the science behind the addiction and the mental health, and educating them on the medication and what it can do and how it can help. And we like to see if we can find the right regimen for them. And the facility that I worked in before I retired, we had multiple doctors, we had nurse practitioners, we had nurses, we distributed Suboxone along with a lot of other medications. And it really, really, really seemed to help a lot of people. Not everybody, because not everybody is ready. Um, but experience that has caused me to learn a lot and figure out what's right and wrong. We make mistakes. I make mistakes all the time. I learn from them. I try anyway. I try and learn from them. Gathering data about abilities, emotional functioning, and other relevant aspects of their mental health, and that can include substance abuse too. The data is typically gathered through a combination of interviews, questionnaires, standardized test observations, and other evaluation tools. The primary aim of the assessment is to support both the counselor and the client in making an informed decision regarding treatment plans, interventions, or other necessary psychological actions. A lot of times we have to send them to specific mental health facilities for them to get better help, better assessments, to help them understand themselves a little bit better. Psychological assessment should not be seen as a one-time event. It is definitely not a one-time event. You have to constantly assess what is going on and, what we can do to help. And, a lot of times when I don't know, then I'll go to my supervisor and I will ask for help. I'll go to the nurse practitioner. I will ask for help. I will get the input of we had a really good team and we worked really well together and we were able to help a lot of people. So because it's an ongoing process, the tracks change in an individual's psychological dynamic, ongoing process that tracks changes in individual psychological state over mind. Life circumstances, personal growth, and treatment interventions all lead to changes that could significantly affect the mental health and the well-being. Therefore, periodic assessments are essential to capture these shifts and adjust the approach accordingly. This includes treatment planning. Sociology provides valuable information about the environment which affects people needed for treatment. Also using numbers, which I'm not that great at. I have learned to critically think, which is a form of math. I have been able to get farther along in my counseling skills, and I learn new skills every day. Both capstones have taught me quite a bit and what not to do. And I do sometimes have a hard time understanding the explicit directions. I know that I received multiple emails and to understand, I messed up. I thought that the PowerPoint was supposed to be a video like this, and I would show the PowerPoint. I didn't realize PowerPoint has a video section where I would video my voice and explain my whole PowerPoint and the defense to my PowerPoint. So I do apologize for that. I hope that we can work together and possibly help me pass the class, because from what I understand, I've already failed 2 parts of it. I finally did realize how to do the video and talk about the stuff that I've learned, the knowledge, which do the best I can. And with all the different modalities and the levels and doing the ASAM and trying to figure out where they best fit but I do the best I can. I hope that I gave enough information. I hope to try and figure out how to do the next 7 videos. I did ask for an extension because I am a little freaked out about not passing my very last class. So I do appreciate all your help, all your emails, all of your explaining. And I hope that we can finish working together. And again, thank you very much for listening. And my name is Carol Mora, and to talking to you in the next video.